Okay, let's talk about the inventory. For every guardianship and conservatorship, the court is going to want to know a starting point, and that's where the inventory comes in. So, we're going to go through and do a sample inventory for Emily Gilmore. Now, keep in mind, I've kind of created this sample inventory based on Emily Gilmore of Gilmore Girls fame. She is a fictional character, and she's very wealthy. So her numbers will likely not look like your numbers, but Lorelai is petitioning for a conservatorship for Emily. Let's assume that Richard has already passed. And so what we want to do is give the court a list of everything that Emily owns, and how much it's worth. So Emily has $100 in her wallet. That's just her spending money. She's probably aching to go to the bank right about now. She has about $600,000 between her checking and savings accounts, and the court will want you to list which bank account, which bank you use, or which bank your loved one uses, and what type of account it is. So is it a money market account? Is it a CD? Things like that. Security deposits, household goods. Now, when we start getting into actual tangible items you can pick up that are not, money in the bank, the court wants the fair market value. And the fair market value is essentially what you would ask for if you were selling your item on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or at an estate or yard sale. It is the estimate of what someone would pay for it today in its current condition. So if I buy a couch at $1,000, its fair market value 6 months after I buy it is not $1,000, because I've been using it, because someone won't pay from a person what they pay from the store. So, maybe it's 700, maybe it's 500, maybe it's less than that, depending on the condition. We've said that Emily has some antiques, some special books. Maybe those were passed down from her family. A safe deposit box. Now, Emily only keeps personal documents like her passport and copies of paperwork in her safe deposit box. But if your loved one keeps anything of financial value, such as jewelry or cash or bonds, things like that, you'll want to list those. And I know this is a very long list. And my practice generally is that if someone does not have something, we just write none right here. So Emily's got jewelry, but she does not own any firearms, hobby equipment. We're saying that she does not have an interest in any insurance policies. Emily Gilmore probably does, but annuities, we're saying she has $100,000 annuity at Annuities R Us. $100,000 is the cash value. So if she just walked into Annuities R Us, contacted her agent and said, hey, I want to take all my money out, how much could she get for that today? We're saying that she does not have any educational investments. We're saying that she has $2 million in her IRA, but she's not yet taking distributions, but she has it. And the conservator is going to be responsible for managing those funds. She has a stock portfolio at Assets Associated Limited with $5 million. She does not own any government bonds, any business interests. She doesn't have any money that people owe to her. No tax refunds, anything else. Just kind of giving you a list of all of these things that the court wants you to disclose. And so I typically write none at the beginning of the section heading. You can also click this X right here. If it is a spousal account, you will want to note here whether it is, unfortunately these forms are still referencing husbands and wives, but let's say that it belonged to the husband, you would just write H. If it belongs to the wife, you'll put wife, and if it's a joint account, you'll write joint. You don't need to worry too much about that because we'll go through it with you, but that is kind of how it works. And I've missed a couple here. We kind of go back through after we've got everything filled in. Emily has a brand new Mercedes-Benz, but no boats, no planes, no livestock, or farming equipment. And so Emily's total assets that she has available if she sold, cashed out everything, is $7,876,200. Now, we're going to keep that number in mind, and we'll come back to it when we do a bond calculation. Now, this is the same thing. You are going to list her real property. So Emily lives at 100 Starlight Lane in Nashville. There is no mortgage or lien on the property, but if there were, you would list it here. And so this is the market value of the house. And you're always going to list the full market value of the house right there. So the court knows how much the property is worth at the time of inventory. Now, real property does not get considered in the bond amount because you can't take off with it. You can't just up and move it. And then finally, we're going to list her income sources. So we're saying that Emily gets $1,000 a month in Social Security, and then she gets $5,000 a month from her annuity, which brings her to a total of $6,000 a month. And then Lorelei, as the fiduciary or proposed conservator, is going to sign this in front of a notary. We are happy to assist you with that. We can do remote notarizations. And then as the attorney, we will complete this certificate of service and make sure that a copy has gone out to everyone that the court requires us to notify. So that is an inventory. And again, we want our clients to kind of do a preliminary listing, but we will actually assist you in preparing this document.